Hey everybody, welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THF publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today is Carolina basketball, the portal. But what if? We're going to throw a what if out there today, and I'll get to that what if in just a second. Quick reminder, for just $8.33 a month, you can be an insider too about all things Carolina Tar Heels football, basketball, and recruiting. We've picked up a lot of new subscribers here in the last 6 weeks or so. They seem very, very happy. So come on, enter the fray. Join our growing, healthy, and pretty insightful community. There's been a little bickering going on the last couple of days, but it's not that bad. Sometimes there's an element of entertainment there, but certainly a lot of good discourse about what the Tar Heels are doing in the portal, about the options, about RJ Davis and Hubert Davis, next year's team, all kinds of stuff. And there's some pretty decent football stuff going on as well, because that portal is closing Tuesday. Basketball one closes Wednesday. Okay, the what if. What if Carolina doesn't add a big man from the portal? Jonas Adu, he's Arkansas. Told you guys, those Baylor things weren't real. We weren't sure about Carolina, to be honest with you. We get a lot of we get conflicting information, which is one reason we just don't run out publicly and put stuff out there. Because a lot of times the people who know a ton, the sources who are in these camps, sometimes what they say one day may not totally be the same the next day, because these kids change. Their conversations with the coaches and the programs change. Somebody presents them a better NIL package, whatever the case may be. Maybe they get tired of waiting on someone, they go grab somebody else. There are so many things at play behind the scenes that I would say dealing with the portal, especially in basketball, has been probably the most challenging thing to project that I've had to deal with in this business, to be perfectly honest with you, because there are so many things at play, and you never know 100% what one kid's looking for. Some are just strictly cash. Some, like a Cormac Ryan, want to play on the stage they had last year, and Harrison Ingram. Some just want playing time. Some want to go somewhere and feel loved. Some of them are constantly running from something. There's so many different reasons why kids are in the portal and why they choose certain schools. So because of that, this is a very difficult thing to prognosticate, but we can cover it and we can update information, even changing information. So for the sake of discussion, let's say Clifford Omiori from Rutgers doesn't go to North Carolina. And let's say Hubert Davis has no other anybody else that's a big that he's talking to. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm saying for the sake of discussion, let's say that's the case. And let's say Hubert decides to stay with what he has. Well, what does he have? If they don't add a big in the portal, you're looking at Jalen Withers, 6'9", experienced kid, older kid, great energy guy, edgy guy, really good offensive rebounder, like someone who could block shots. He can do some things offensively, would have to be a little bit more refined, but certainly he would be out there for the edge. And I'm not even suggesting he's a 5, but he did play some 5 at times this year. With the right 4, he could be a 5. There's Jalen Washington. Jalen Washington is probably more like the 5 that maybe Hubert envisions in his system. Someone that could step out and shoot. He was 8 for 15 from three-point range this year. He can hit that 12 to 15-foot jumper, catch and shoot now. He's added that, but certainly the turnaround is a work of art. His teammates talk about it all the time. You've got Zayden High, played 102 minutes this year. Long, physical, plays with an edge, but man, he was a fouling machine this year. A young guy learning how to play. We don't know how much he's going to progress going into next year, but he's a body that's out there. And then you have James Brown, a freshman coming in. He's a big kid, 6'11", I guess, 6'10", James Brown, number 96 rated player in the Rivals 150. So I don't think he's an instant impact player. He could be a body that helps you for several minutes here and there. I trust what David Sisk has said. He said that Zayden High would be a project, would take some time, and he was. And he says the same thing about James Brown. So you're probably looking at whatever improvement Zayden High has. You're looking at Jalen Washington, who's 6'10 with long arms. He's got like 7'3 wingspan. He can score. He's got skills. He's got finesse. But what's lacking with Jalen Washington is enough of the edge. And I've talked to Jalen about that. In fact, I can't remember what game it was. It was probably in February. I remember he ripped 2 rebounds away from the other team. I think it may have been the Virginia Tech game. And I said something to him about it, about ripping the ball away, and he started smiling because that is a point of emphasis for him. And in that sequence, in those 2 sequences, it worked out. One of his points of emphasis this summer is to get stronger. Another one is to bang. I talked to a former Tar Heel who's fairly legendary, who plays with the guys in the summer, and he talked about how Jalen needs to keep banging, learn how to bang, absorb bang, deliver the bang. Get in there, be more physical on a consistent basis, not just a flare up here and there. More consistently be that guy. Withers, I think, is more a 4 than a 5. There are a lot of teams in college basketball that have dudes like him defending at the 5, and offensively they don't have a 5. They just spread everything out and just have a lot of movement. That could happen. That could work. He was a good 3-point shooter at Louisville, shot 41% his last year at Louisville. Last year, this past year, he was 4 for 20 with Carolina. What's interesting about Withers and Washington is they both played better late in the season, especially Withers. He played a lot better late in the season. I have something that we're going to run on him in a bit, and I sort of itemized what his baskets were over the last 5 weeks of the season. Lots of layups, lots of dunks, and a lot of putbacks. If you go look at the timeline, rebound at 14:10, layup at 14:09, that kind of thing. Sometimes draws a foul and hits the free throw. He did a lot of that, a lot of offensive rebounding. He's a guy that can run the floor. I think he could be a backside screen baseline weapon for the Tar Heels. But where is his mid-range game? Didn't see much of one. And he's got to get that 3-point stroke back a little bit. He averaged, by the way, was it 4.2 points, 3.5 rebounds, shot 53.5% from the floor, but inside the arc, he was around 63%. Jalen Washington, like I said, he's got a beautiful touch, beautiful shot. There are a lot of real nice finesse things. He's a guy that if you see him work out in gym alone, you're like, oh my gosh. With his length, with enough of the bounce that he has, and with those skills, he just needs to add what I was saying a few minutes ago. He was at 3.9 points a game this past year, almost 3 rebounds. He shot 70% from the floor. So that's what they're looking at. And if you want to throw in one more wrinkle there, let's look at Cade Tyson as a possible 4. If Tyson is your 4, you probably can't go with Withers at the 5. You'd have to go with a J-Watch, or you have to hope that Zayden High is much better, or that James Brown comes in and is 1,000 times better than what a lot of the recruiting ranking guys think. So that's what you're looking at, guys. That is your interior if Hubert Davis doesn't add anybody. And he could add young man from Kentucky. I don't know. That's not going to happen anytime soon, doesn't look like. I'm not saying the communication has ended there, but that's going to take some time. There's some things are going to have to work themselves out before he's ready to commit to a school, which is what our understanding is at just past midnight, Monday night, going into Tuesday morning. Let's put it that way. And again, these things change fast. So as it stands, what do you think if this is Carolina's front line next year? Or does that concern you? Does it excite you? Jalen Withers has played a ton of time in college. He's played a ton of minutes. He started 67 games in college in the ACC. He's played 20 games or whatever. He's played over 2,000 minutes. Jalen Washington, maybe he's ready to explode and be that guy. You think about it, he was injured for a long time. Freshman year, they just kind of worked him in. Last year, he was still in the feeling out process for a while, had some moments. Maybe now he's ready to explode. Possible. Maybe Zayden High takes a huge leap from what we saw to what he is, to what he ends up being, at least for this coming season. Your thoughts. Let me know on Facebook. Let me know on Twitter. Let me know on our website, on our message boards at TarHeelIllustrated.com. The Four Corners board is popping, is on fire. That alone is worth the price to be a member of our community, not to mention all of David's tidbits, recruiting tidbits for football, lots of other intel bits that we're sticking over there. And a lot of the research that we're doing is premium as well, because we're digging. We got massive shovels. Brian, I can almost hear Brian Balcom right now, just digging and digging and digging. Massive shovel, digging up stats, digging up information, so you guys don't have to. That's one of the things we enjoy doing. We do a lot of the heavy lifting, so you never have to. You just read what our input is, or output is rather, and there you go. What do you think? Is this a good front line? Is this your front line? Is this what you want? Or are you scared? Let us know. Make sure you click like on this video. Subscribe to this channel if you have not. Hit the notification bell so you get updates every time we upload. And tell your Carolina friends about us, guys. More Tar Heel fans need to know that we're here, because I want to know what they think. They watch one of these videos, they answer the question that we ask at the end, if we ask a question, and then we get to know what more Carolina fans think, and that's always better. More is always better. I'm AJ, and I appreciate you stopping by.